So it is a huge pleasure to welcome Joan Muss today for a second flower arranging class at Fifth Avenue Synagogue. The first one that she did last year was absolutely wonderful. I'm still using the shears I got and the tips she gave me, and she's giving me tips now even as we speak as she's getting ready for the class. So I know today will be wonderful also, and perfect timing as we all get ready for the new year and ready to bring beautiful flowers into our home and the beauty of the holidays also into our hearts. And with that, Joan, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. So I guess I'm going to stand here. Hi, everybody. Bernice, do I see you? Where are you?
No, you don't have to see me. I'm here. I hear you though.
Okay, great. So I went to Trader Joe's this morning and went to see the flowers. So typically they have been having these flowers called country roses, and that they're big and wide, but they didn't have them today. So today we're going to do regular roses. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And oh, goody, you went shopping. So that's what these are the flowers I bought today that we're going to have different assortments of different combinations. So the first thing I do when I bring them home from the store is put them in the bucket with water. But then while I was waiting for class to start, I started cleaning them. So I'm taking off the first leaves, and then I'm going to put them in the bucket and flowers in the sitting in the water. So what I do, I think I'm going to go a little closer, is I go around and take the first layer off. That was kind of a protection shield while they traveled. You know, think about. Hello.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Hi, Linda.
No, that's all. What we did was introduce that we're bringing the roses home in a bag like this. And then I'm going to take them apart. And I'm going to do them just a little bit to take it off. And I'm going to put them in the bucket. So
you take all the leaves off?
I do. That's something that I just like to do, was I really think the flowers are so beautiful that I like to take off the leaves because they kind of were there for protection, but I don't know how pretty. So I just did that. Let's see. In the plastic. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to throw it away. I'm very neat as I go along. I like to clean it. So that's done. So now we're going to take, so today when I went to the store, I like to have the fresh flowers. So that's no matter what your greatest plans are, you have to see what's fresh for the day. So today they didn't have the country roses I liked, but I really liked these hot pink roses. So I looked what would go with those. So I bought these that are a little lighter, so it's a different color. And then I bought these that are white and pink to make a little, you know, distinction of mixing the colors together, but staying in the same color range. And then I bought green hydrangeas. So these the roses are the most, you know, are going to cost you the most of your flowers. And the greens are the filling. But the most important is water. And then I bought some eucalyptus. So that's a circular one, and these. So I know I talked about having a 32-ounce jar because it's kind of like a nice size for the mouth. So hold on one second just to show you. So this is typically of a vase you have at home. This is plastic, but it's a nice size. And so this one also. And then I have this one in a square. So right now, the style is kind of low because when you have dinner, you don't want to be able to have to look over flowers. So that's really kind of the trend right now, is to have a lot of small ones on the table. And so you don't have to take them off. So I'm going to start cleaning these together. We can do this together. So the tools we have today are my scissor for the paper and the rubber bands, and then we have the clipper for the flowers. So just to talk about the holidays is that typically I've been very happy to be asked to do the flowers for the Jewish holidays in a couple of different synagogues. And what I've liked to do is Rosh Hashanah, I like to do bright colors, you know, happy, a new year. And, you know, when you go to the store, you're going to see colors that are going to make you feel good. And then the week later for Yom Kippur, I like to do white. So back when there were some people who knew more things than I did, and it's the idea of a catch-22 of using different color white flowers that do not look like a funeral. So, you know, those are the kind of catch-22 of lilies are for funerals. We don't want to use white lilies. And then the paper white flowers. So I love to have, if you look at, when you go to the store, you can look at white flowers and you'll notice that there's a creamy kind and a white kind and a pinky kind. So it looks so nice to be able to mix the different whites together and then with green. So today I'm going to do hot pink and white. And these flowers, unfortunately, what COVID has done for us is shipping isn't so great. So even though these flowers were fresh today, I'd say they've been sitting on a dock somewhere, you know, a little bit relaxing. So we're going to have to bring some life into them. So just sitting in the water today, they've been able to open up that way. And I'm going to take off that. So at the moment, I'm just going to put them in my bucket with water like that and just clean them as we go together. So we're going to take off the bottom leaves. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to take off one layer around, you know, one petal, because just think of it, when it's old, it drains the energy, you know, like us, right? So we're going to put them in the water. And I have taken the flower food that comes in the packet like that. In every flower that we buy, they're very generous to give us a packet of flour.
Didn't get this time.
Flower food. So when we have different vases, we can put a little in one and a little in the other. So, oh, that's great. Oh, you're wearing gloves. So you can do, I see you have the clipper. Now there is an apparatus. It's almost like a staple plucker that you can get, and it just goes right down like that. I don't have one at the moment. I've left it somewhere, but that's a great thing, a tool to have. Roberta, you have your flowers?
I I don't have it. I want to watch you. That's what
Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going around the flower just to take off the ones that have had seen their day. And then I'm going to stick them in the water that has the food. And if you look how tight it is. Now, also what I would like to talk about is when I went to buy the flowers today, is I like to go to Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, or the deli. And sometimes the flowers have been sitting there for 3 days, and sometimes they just came in. The best way to tell if they're going to last is to go like this and that they have sponge back. You don't want them to collapse. This means that they still have body inside, that you want to be able, you can't squeeze it. So most of the time they freeze them or, you know, like, so warm water is really nice room temperature. So after I do the next couple of flowers, because we're moving right along to be able to make an arrangement, I'm going to get for you to see that just taking off the dead leaves gives them room. They open right up. So I'm going to switch over now to our multicolor. These are the white with pink. So just to tell you, when I go to Trader Joe's, I sit there for a long time. I look at the flowers and look at the colors and see what's going to look nice, what's going to open up. And so you see here now, we have green leaves around it. So I'm going to take the mature leaf and take it off. The ones that are new and fresh, I'm going to leave on. And then I'm going to take one at a time around. And then I'm going to stick it in water. Water is necessity. So here again, I'm going to take off this big leaf and leave the little ones and take off the petals. So I'm giving a variety of colors. I like to use room temperature on the cool side. So that's the most important. Just to tell you is that back when with orchids, somebody gave me a trick to put ice cubes, and it sounds great and it's slow, but then they said, well, do you want to be frozen? You know, like, do you want shock? So think of these flowers as they want nice, cool drinking water, you know, if not warm. Now, one of the tricks, say that again.
What's happening to the recording? It's freezing a lot. So my recording, when I'm watching you, is freezing a lot. So I don't know if anybody else has a problem. It's freezing.
no.
It's not like it just freezes.
No, I don't
No,
have
just
a problem, but I'd like to see the flowers. Can you lower the picture?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. Okay,
Okay, sorry, I was putting them to the right.
okay.
So, was that the issue? Was that,
No, she said it was freezing, but mine is okay.
say that again?
She said you were freezing at different parts, but I don't have that.
Oh, okay. So again, everything is a matter of taste. I love the color. I love so as you can see here, I kind of coordinated flowers.
But
that
Joan,
look
we see
nice.
the camera.
I didn't,
Joan, oh, that's it. Great. Thank you.
what'd you say, Roberta?
I said, we want to see the flowers now. Thank you. We saw the flower. No, yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Okay,
Great.
So-
Great color.
so I just, you know what, if it's from what they had that day, today, I took the deep pink, the lighter pink, and the mixture of the white. And then I'm only moving the flowers over because we're going to make an arrangement. I'm getting them ready in that bucket. So I bought some eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is a nice filler. I really, as we talked about, is I like to see the flower by itself without all the greenery that it has. But then these are nice ones, you know, and this adds flavor to the room of fragrance, gentle, but I always like to take the bad leaves off to clean. And so you make the stem and we put it in the bucket. And then, so I brought a couple of varieties because you might not want to use all the greens at the same time. But this is a different kind. So we're going to have them ready. So I apologize for not talking at the moment, but I'm just going to. So I wanted you to see that the flowers that you see at the market, they might look simple, but we're here to make them look pretty. So here, this is how the stems come. They're just raw greens, but I'm going to start taking off. You don't want to ever have greens in the water. So this is the level of the vase. And this is the level of the vase. So you don't want the greens anywhere below where the water is going to be. So we're going to pick it off. And then as you're making the flower arrangement, you might want to adjust it again. But right now we're going to clean it off and make it just a stem like that. Okay, I think I have all my flowers ready. That we're gonna start making this arrangement. So, can you see this? Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, much better. Thank you.
There we go. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna take the, you all can see me, the flowers like that, approximately. So I switch from scissors to a clipper. When you're working with the flowers, you want a clipper. So I'm gonna cut them this way. And I'm gonna put them in like that. And I say, you know what, that's a little too high. So I'm gonna cut them down, but I'm gonna cut it on an angle. See the angle?
Yeah.
You see? And sometimes you can do it like even that, another slant. The idea is to have as much of the fiber in the water. So we're going to bring it down a little bit. So this is the best trick. I'm still working on it. I went to flower school. It is to go to the right. So that's how you get a nice bouquet around, is to just keep on going around the right. So now I'm going to take, right now we're just going to start with having 2 of the hot pink and then 2 of the white with pink. So I'm going to put it like that. Oh, that's a little too long. So as you go along, you can see. So here, can you see that? It's 2 and 2. So now I'm going to take 2 of these. This is the hot pink. And again, I'm going to go to the right. That's a little too long. And cutting on the angle. And so you're laying it right on top of each other to the right. So now I'm going to go back to the hot pink.
To the red.
Well, it's really like a really hot pink,
Okay.
which is what I loved. This is
Okay.
it's on the version of red, but it's hot pink.
Mhm.
So now I can take one of my greens and
Mhm.
snip it and put it in over here.
Mhm.
So I like to be symmetrical. So now we're going to go back to the 2 white. And go around. To the right. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take of the eucalyptus, this one, and I'm going to snip it and start putting it in as we go around. So again, now when you make it symmetrical going around like this, inside you form like a V. So at that point, then the flowers start standing up by themselves when you put them in like that. So let's see, let's do another 2 of these. So as you can see, do you see how big these are opening as we speak? Because they were sitting in, it's being called condition. You're taking off the flowers. I can't hear you. What?
I think it was an echo.
Okay. So if you can see, by taking off the extra leaves and putting them in the water, they start opening up.
I think it was an echo.
So I keep on going around. And you know, the best laid plans, you can have the colors you want, but then as you see them, you know, as they come together. So let's see, now we're gonna do some more of these hot pink. So these are a little less color, but you see they're smaller. So these probably travel farther. They're smaller, but they're going to open up. So, you know, today, if I had bought the flowers and we were going to do the class, then I would have been able to buy variety of flowers. So today I said just buy roses, because roses, you could do them all in one color, or you can buy and make them all different colors and put them together. So again, people's taste is different. The eucalyptus adds a natural flavor of fragrance that when you walk in the room, you're going to have the smell. Roses used to have fragrance. Something happened, they don't really anymore. So when you do, it's a treat. So, again, if you're having the dinner table, you might not want these to be in front of you. So you might cut them down a little bit more. But what you would do is take off more of the leaves, because you don't want the leaves in the water. So let's see. So recently I did an event and I bought the country roses that we don't have today, but with these roses, and they opened so big by the second day that I had a second arrangement. So that was kind of why I bought other vases, is because you might think that you have, this is one arrangement, and then have little vases that you can put other flowers around the house. You might want to put one in the kitchen sink, might want to put one in the bathroom. So it's just a hint of, to me, happiness when you see flowers around the house. How am I doing?
I would never think that.
Well, you know, I don't know how many of you live in the vicinity of 59th Street with the new Trader Joe's, but they seem to have contracts with really beautiful flowers. So at reasonable prices, and every morning they get fresh flowers. So it's hard to be able to say, oh, I want yellow, and then they don't have them. But if you go with an open mind and say, what's the prettiest flower you have today? And, you know, just look at them and see what you can do.
Joan, how do you decide on the heights, different heights of the flowers?
Well, again, that was, this is my style. You know, no matter how many times I've gone to class, and I end up doing the same thing. So I like them to be, I like only the flowers. And then if you do greenery, then it's something special of greenery versus the leaves. I think that the most important is that most of the time we're talking about Shabbat dinner and we're at the table, and you don't want to have to take the, you know, you put a beautiful arrangement on the table, and then the food comes and you say, oh, there's no room, let's take it off. So I think the best thing is to do low vases like this one. And this is, you know, a little pretty. It makes it a little soft. You could still talk if we're across the table. Say that again.
The flowers.
Yes. So I think this is really nice size for dinner table. You know, you can talk above them, below them. And if you have two on the table, I think it's nicer than what a gigantic big one. Now the new thing is bud vases. So you could have bud vases and have just 2 or 3 flowers on, you know, every 3 place settings. But I think this came out very nice, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody see this?
Beautiful.
So I'm going to do it differently with the square. Okay. So let's see, I'm gonna get more flowers involved here. Let's see, I'm gonna clean them up a little bit. So you see, this is a square now. So before we went around one at a time. Let's see. Those are my flowers. So here we're going to use the same flowers and get them ready. So you can all see that I'm taking off just the top layer there. I'm going to put that in the water, put this one in the water. And here we go. I am very partial. This is my favorite color, is the hot pink rose. So as I saw that it was stated to look at my Instagram page. So sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's purple flowers, but they're all beautiful. Whatever you choose. You can all see me as I'm taking out, cleaning the flowers. You know, just like all of us would like to have a little attention. So by taking off these flowers here, these leaves, that's taking off the energy that was taking from the flower. So here I just, okay. So now, so hydrangeas are everywhere, all seasons. They find them from somewhere, somehow. So these are green hydrangeas. So I'm going to take off these leaves. Now just, these are fine, but hydrangeas really need water. So when you get those big blue ones or white ones, you can take hot water. These are ones that love hot water, and you dip them down like that, and they need to be hydrated. So here today, I'm going to just do that once so you can see how they love to be hydrated. And I'm going to let that stand bucket.
Did you say hot water?
Hot water. Hydrangeas love hot water.
Wow.
But today we're just going to do room temperature, and I'm going to dip them because they like to be smothered in water. So let's see. So today, so hydrangeas are a good filler because that's what, you know, with these flowers, Trader Joe's, they're so fortunate to have it around because the prices are so reasonable. But typically, roses are expensive, flowers are expensive. So if you want to have the premium, that's considered a premium flower, then you take hydrangeas, which are minimal in price, but they give a nice space. Now for hydrangeas, they really, really need water. So in class, you do learn to take the stem and smash it so that all the fibers are in there. Today, we're not going to smash it, but I am going to cut it that it's on an angle from all sides that you get to see. It's almost like a point that all the fibers are exposed to the water. The hydrangeas are the one that need the most water. So what I'm going to do now is that instead of going around in a circle, I'm going to do it one to this corner. And one to this corner. So we have three. I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. So then I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to trim them to the size that I think is proper. Now, honestly, we could measure them and we could cut them all at the different same time, and that would save time, but it's my hobby and I like to take the time to like feel each one and see how they're going to look in the vase itself. So now so I did one of each one. Can you see that at each corner, 4 corners? So thank you all for letting me do this. It's very fun. I do this all the time for myself. So to be able to show you, it's very fun. So I'm going to put these around the vase. It's easy to take 2 at a time that are the same size. And now I'm going to go around and repeat. As I said, I'm one that likes symmetrical. So I like to have the green on each side and the pink on each side. And now we can do a little eucalyptus. And as I said, when you do this, you're also forming a V in the center of the flower. So then they stand up like that. And you don't have to worry about having them fall over. So this is another kind of eucalyptus. So it's just soft looking. I thought it would be pretty with this. So now let's do some of these other colors. So this is how I said that we integrate the different colors together. Okay, so I put the white one over there and you see it has the pink edges, so it coordinates with the light pink and the hot pink. And put more in there. Anybody have any questions? So you see I'm going around and I'm making it even. I'm taking out the flowers of the edge. Oh my God, look how pretty that looks.
Mm,
Oh,
beautiful.
how we doing? So, I was recently at an event and the flowers opened so big. I had more flowers than I had vases. And I just asked the bartender for some beer glasses and made 3 more arrangements. So flowers are beautiful in anything that you have. And we all have so many little things at home, glass jars. And if you just stick one flower in them by your night table, they look so pretty. How's this doing?
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful, Jem. Beautiful,
So-
beautiful. Love that.
I think we could do one more. We have a vase this size. So that's really, so we have this one. And we have this one. And we still have another dozen of flowers. Let's see. So this is where we have the eucalyptus. So you might not want to be able to use that many flowers. So you can use green and then do a highlight of flowers. So I see somebody that was more advanced, but I like to, use my fingers here. So this is like that. And you're going to excuse me for 1 minute to get water for this vase. Okay. Yes. Okay. So mostly, I just want you to know that the flowers that you're going to see that are so beautiful here, they're the flowers you see on every corner. So it's just a matter of taking them and giving them some water and some love and attention. Right? So we're going to start with, let's do some greens in here. So that, you know, it looks it's coordinated around the house, but it's not exactly the same. And, you know, typically when I buy flowers, I like to have one in the bathroom, one on the kitchen sink, and just have a little something to look at every day. So we already have this in here. And then we still have the hydrangea that was just in the water, that was hydrating because it had been without water all day. It was looking sad, but I cut it on the end. You see it's on a triangle. So now here with these roses, we can see if you want to leave some leaves on. Let's see. You want to make it more freeform, but as you asked about the style of it, you see now this leaf, the reason I take it off, it looks like a bug like ate a little bit of it. So I don't want to see that. So I'm going to take off that leaf and just leave the nice new leaves on. So this one's going to be a little more freeform. And basically, when I look at flowers, I look at anything as a vase. You know, you have a broken flower, you can put it in a teacup or a shot glass and just give it a little life. Now, you know, I tried to be able to do this size because I think this is a really nice size for the dinner table. Not to be too tall, not to be too little. And we all have different vases at home, but I've done things with teapots. You can be creative. Yes. So basically, I hope what you've learned today is that water is the most important thing. The minute we bring flowers home, we have to put them in the bucket until we're ready to be able to clean them and get them ready. And then taking off just a little layer of it lets the insides open up. So any questions?
No, terrific.
Thank you so much.
So,
Thank you.
I think last time you just said, do you change the water and you cut the flowers again in the days after?
Yes.
Or you just
Yes.
change the water?
Yes. So even though this looks so beautiful right now,
Right.
tomorrow I would take the whole thing out and then
Yep.
change the water. And then you just, at that point, if you like everything the way it's situated, you just clip the little bit. So then you would just, let's say it's like this tomorrow, you're going to cut just that because you already like the length of it, but you just wanted to get fresh exposure. And that will give you another 3 days of the flowers looking beautiful, and they'll
Oh.
transform. You know,
So
and if you want to wait
How
2
often
days,
do you change the water though?
I missed this
one of
flower
those things
arranging
that every
class
time
from
you
the
look,
synagogue.
oh, I can go change the water.
I'm
So
sorry. I
they'll
didn't
look
hear
better.
what
You know,
you were talking.
as you start to see, just look how these flowers, the roses are opening
Uh-huh.
while they're here. So
Oh, there's my
Okay.
friend. From my synagogue, flower arranging class.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about it.
Oh, how pretty.
say that again.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It looks beautiful, Joan.
Only 6
Oh,
people.
good. So really,
Very
you don't
nice.
have to do it
All my
tomorrow,
friends.
but the next day. That
Joan,
will
did you
be
clip the top? What did you do? You clipped something on top.
Thank you very much. That was really nice. I'm gonna send the recording to my sister. She loves this stuff.
Wonderful. Said it's been recorded.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's have the,
Okay, thank you,
So-
Joan.
Joan,
Yes.
can you just, Joan,
How's that?
it's Roberta. Can you repeat about the flowers, about the water? How often you change the water?
every 2 days.
And did you put it,
You don't have to do it tomorrow, but the 2 days.
and did you put that solution back in or anything special in the water once you change the water?
You can, to me, fresh water is what does it. You know, but every one of the flowers comes with the little packets. So you
Right.
can keep them and you can put them into the vases. But otherwise, fresh water just makes them look beautiful.
So for these 3 arrangements that you did, how many,
Yes.
like, how many dozens of roses did you buy and how many other assortment of things did you buy to make all these, for example? Like, so we wanted to do 3 arrangements or one.
Okay. Well, the issue at hand is that the country roses, which I love so much from Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, they come in packages of 8.
Bye, hon.
See you later.
He will.
So most of them are all by the dozen. And I think like 3 things, like this is a hot pink, this is the light, this is the medium.
Right.
So 2 flowers and then a highlight of a green.
My bed, she makes the most beautiful bed.
Marcia, unmute. Marcia,
Oh,
mute.
sorry.
Okay, okay, hi, Marcia. Okay, so what was that, Joan?
Hi,
Sorry.
guys.
I said that, you know, it's like 3,
Yeah.
3 that make it look synchronized, the hot pink, the medium pink, and then the white and the pink together. You know,
Okay,
kind of makes it like a scenario. And
right,
then the greens, whatever, catches your fancy, but the greens are the ones that spread it out. Some
Okay.
people like to have more greens and just have a highlight of flowers, and that makes it more cost effective. The prettier the flower, the more expensive. But look how pretty this looks.
That's
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
yeah,
Great.
really good. Yeah, and this is all from Trader Joe's?
All from Trader Joe's. And
Wow,
That's
Whole
magnificent.
Foods is the best. Honestly, when I was about to do a flower event recently for 10 tables, I went, there's a deli on 55th Street, there's a deli on 56th Street, 55th, 56th, Whole Foods, and then Trader Joe's. So I try to go to Trader Joe's to see what they have because they are the most reasonably priced of anybody. It's a steal. It's unbelievable. And then if you want to have other colors or other things, then you go to the other places. But what I try to do is I have a little fragrance, but I've learned that a lot of people don't like the smell of lilies and it's offensive with food. So, those are the things that you have to be a little more careful of. But otherwise, it's right in front of us that we just have to see. And it's called smelling the roses, is looking at them and giving them a little love so that they open up and look so pretty.
no,
Beautiful.
no, it's beautiful, beautiful, Joan.
Okay.
Really.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joan.
Ecstatic.
Thank
So
you.
so the Women Clubs, thank you so much for doing this for us today, really.
Okay, so Rachel just asked me to show my little clippers. As
Yeah.
I said, I think my last class that I was very privileged to do a flower class with Bella Meyer, who's the granddaughter of Marc Chagall. And when she saw me use a scissor, she screamed and yelled. So really, I should be using a knife. Real florists, they just take that knife and they go psst, like that and they cut it. But I'm a little scared of that, so I've learned to use clippers. These are
Joan,
my
lower the scissor so people can say on the camera. Thanks.
clippers.
Thank you.
So these are the ones I like to use for these local flowers and the nice flowers. These are a little more sturdy that I have, that are for the hydrangeas or, thick stem flowers or branches. So those are the things, these are my tools that I have. And as I said, it's called a rose plucker. So it looks like a staple plucker, and you can get one of those and it just takes the thorns and the flowers off. But otherwise, if just make sure you don't get any thorns in your fingers. I like to do it by hand. So that's my class for today.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan, so much.
I'm sorry it's not closer to Rosh Hashanah. but-
Wow. You don't
Oh,
know how it's, but it's
we learned
beautiful. We
a lot
have,
today.
now we're inspired for Rosh Hashanah. But Joan, again, thank you so much
Thank
for doing this for the
You're
book club.
welcome. Okay.
Very
And,
good.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.